The deployment is the biggest part. The rest of it's all kind of familiar, but it's just the deployment is so challenging, and it's different from track to track. And we probably also we won't know until we're thrown in the deep end in the race to understand that when we overtake someone, how it's going to affect us when we go to coming out of that corner, and managing that, I think, is going to be difficult. Some tracks you don't have to do lift and coast for a single lap, and in some places you have to do a lot of lift and coast for a qualifying lap. So, and there can be a big difference between deployment of a second if you don't lift in one corner. For example, turn 5 here, for example, if you take it flat, or if you lift, has a massive effect, a compound effect through the rest of the lap. And you can do a good lap, but you could be the second down because the deployment is off. So I think that's going to be the biggest challenge, is not only the drivers optimizing it, but the team being on top of it and delivering.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are different. I think, as Lewis kind of said, all the driving, car setup, everything is kind of optimized around getting the most out of the power unit, which there's always kind of been an element of that, but it's now by far the biggest element, I would say. You still got to do all the other basics right. I think what is difficult about these new regulations is that a lot of the things we have to learn to do as drivers are not very intuitive. So it takes some getting used to and a lot of discipline, I would say.